I know what it feels like to be wanted by two men. Not desired in the shallow, forgettable way, not the kind that fades by morning. I mean wanted in the way that changes the air in a room, in the way that makes your skin feel like it belongs to someone else, in the way that sits behind your sternum like a second heartbeat, persistent, uninvited, absolutely refusing to stop. Kai wants me the way the ocean wants the shore, endlessly, helplessly, returning again and again, even knowing it will only ever crash and pull back and crash again. Damien wants me the way a man wants something he conquered and then realized, too late, he didn't know what to do with once he had it. Desperately, possessively, with the specific terror of someone who has never before been afraid of losing anything. And I am standing between them, on fire. And I have been burning for 3 years. I wake up to Damien's hand on my waist. Even in sleep, he holds me like a claim. His arm is heavy across my body, warm through the silk of my nightgown, and for one soft, treacherous second before I'm fully conscious, I sink into it, into him. Into the smell of him, cedar and something darker underneath, something that has always made the back of my throat go dry. Then I remember the notification I saw last night, and I go still. Kai Ryuen, unnamed series. Damien stirs behind me. His lips find the back of my neck, slow, unhurried, the press of them deliberate in the way everything Damien does is deliberate. "You're awake," he murmurs against my skin. Not a question. "Barely," I manage. His hand moves. Traces up my side with the casual confidence of a man who knows every inch of what he's touching and has decided, again this morning, that it belongs to him. My breath catches, against my will, against every complicated thing I'm feeling, because this is the problem with Damien Cross. My mind can be a war zone and my body still responds to him like it's the only language it knows. "You're thinking," he says. "I'm always thinking. You're thinking loudly." He turns me just slightly, just enough that I'm on my back looking up at him. He props himself on one elbow, looking down at me, his dark hair a little undone from sleep. This is the only version of Damien Cross most people never see. This, slightly unguarded, jaw unshaven, eyes still heavy, is the version I sometimes think I married. "Tell me," he says. His thumb traces my collarbone, a slow, patient line. My pulse jumps under it like a caught thing. "It's nothing," I say. His eyes say, "It's never nothing with you," but he doesn't push. He leans down instead and kisses me, and the kiss is soft at first, asking, and then it isn't soft at all, and I let myself get lost in it for exactly as long as I can afford to before the guilt pulls me back to the surface. Mira walks in 20 minutes later like she owns the building. She doesn't knock, she never has. "I saw the gallery announcement," she says, bypassing hello, setting 2 coffees on my kitchen counter. "Kai's exhibition." "Before you say anything," "I wasn't going to say anything. You have that face." "I don't have a face." "Elena." She leans across the counter, studying me. "You have the face, the one you had when you left him, the one you had at your own wedding." She pauses. "The one you think no one notices." I wrap both hands around the coffee cup, let the heat ground me. "He named it unnamed," she says quietly. "You know why? I do know why." Kai told me once, we were lying on the studio floor, paint everywhere, 2 a.m., some jazz record playing soft in the corner. He told me he would never name me in his work. "Because naming something means releasing it to the world," he said, his fingers moving lazily through my hair, "and I am never releasing you to the world." I had laughed. I had kissed him. I had believed him. "Every canvas is you," Mira says. I looked up the preview images. One review said the subject has. She picks up her phone, reads, eyes that hold a goodbye she never meant to give. The coffee cup nearly slips from my hands. "Mira, I know. I made a choice. Elena." Her voice goes gentle in the way it only does when she means business. "Was it your choice? Or was it the only move left on a board you didn't design?" The question sits between us like smoke. I don't answer, because some truths cost more than I have before noon. Before the penthouse, there was paint on every surface and never enough money and the best nights of my life. Kai's studio apartment was barely 400 square feet, and it smelled like linseed oil and old coffee, and something warm underneath that I only ever identified as him. The mattress was on the floor because the bed frame had been sold for canvas money, and we'd made it a point of pride, laid it with white sheets that were always paint-stained by Tuesday, piled it with every blanket we owned. I'm there now, in my memory, cross-legged at the edge, watching him work. He's shirtless, which is relevant, which has always been relevant. Kai has the kind of body that doesn't apologize for itself, lean and paint-streaked, moving with the unconscious grace of someone who has never once thought about how they look while doing something they love. He's at the canvas with his back to me, and I am supposed to be reading, and I have read the same page 7 times. You're staring, he says, not turning. I'm reading. You haven't turned a page in 20 minutes. It's a very dense page. He sets his brush down, turns, leans against the counter with his arms crossed, looking at me with that expression, amused and warm and completely, devastatingly focused on me in a way that always makes me feel like the only solid thing in the room. Come here, he says. I'm reading. Elena. Low, just my name in that voice. That's all it takes. I set the book down, walk to him. He catches me by the waist before I reach him, steps forward and catches me and walks me back until I'm against the wall, and his hands are on either side of my face, and his forehead is pressed to mine, and we're just breathing the same air for a moment. Hi, he says. Hi, I say back, breathless. You were staring at me. You were working with your shirt off. What was I supposed to do? He kisses me. Slow, deep. The kind of kiss that starts as a conversation and ends as something that has no words for it. His paint-stained hands frame my jaw, careful and certain at the same time, and I feel it, I always feel it, that specific melting that happens when someone kisses you like you're the thing they've been waiting all day to come back to. When he pulls back, he stays close, searching my face. Promise me something, he says. His voice has shifted, serious now. Kai, promise me you're not going anywhere. His thumb traces my cheekbone. Not tonight, not ever. His eyes are dark and earnest and slightly terrified in the way that only shows when he thinks I'm not looking. Because the way he stops, exhales. The way I feel about you is not something I can compartmentalize, Elena. It's not something I can put in a drawer if things get hard. It's the whole thing, it's everything. I pull him back to me by the back of his neck. I'm not going anywhere, I breathe against his mouth, and I mean it. God, I mean it. Damien comes home at 11 and finds me in his study. He leans in the doorway for a moment, tie loosened, jacket over one arm, looking at me with that particular expression he reserves for when I've done something that interests him and he hasn't decided yet whether to be pleased or suspicious. You hate my study, he says. I don't hate it. You've told me it feels like the inside of a power trip. It does. I needed that tonight. He sets his jacket down, walks to the bar cart with the unhurried certainty of a man who has never once rushed for anything, pours 2 glasses of whiskey without asking. Sets one in front of me. Talk, he says. Kai has an exhibition. The pour of his own glass slows by half a second. That's all. If you weren't watching for it, you'd miss it. But I'm always watching Damien. He sits across from me, not beside me, across where he can see my face completely. And, he says, and nothing, I saw the announcement. I stop, look at the whiskey. I felt something. What kind of something? It's not a question. With Damien, nothing is ever a question. Everything is an opening, an invitation that is also, somehow, a challenge. The inconvenient kind, I say. He is quiet for a moment that stretches, his eyes on my face, cataloging the way he always does, reading me the way other men read spreadsheets. Efficient, accurate, completely without mercy. Elena, he leans forward. Elbows on his knees, glass held loosely, eyes locked on mine. I want to ask you something, and I want you to understand that whatever the answer is, I can handle it. What I cannot handle, his voice drops, deliberate, is another beautiful half-truth dressed up as an answer. My breath does something inconvenient. Ask, I say. Do you still want him? The silence that follows is a living thing. It moves through the room. It touches the walls. Damien, look at me. I am looking at him. I have not stopped looking at him. That is the problem. Yes, I say. He doesn't move, doesn't flinch, doesn't shatter. He just breathes one controlled, almost imperceptible breath, and then he sets his whiskey glass down with the care of a man placing something explosive. "And us," he says, "quiet, dangerous. What do you want from us?" "I don't know," I whisper. "I don't know, and I'm terrified of not knowing." He stands, crosses to me, slowly. And I should move, I should put space between us, but I don't, I never do, because this is Damien Cross and the room rearranges itself around him and takes me with it. He stops in front of my chair, looks down at me, and then he does something I don't expect. He crouches to my eye level, both hands on the armrests of the chair, caging me in without touching me. Close enough that I can feel the warmth radiating off him. Close enough that if either of us moved 3 inches, "Let me be very clear about something," he says, his voice low enough that it vibrates under my skin. "You are the only thing in my life that I have never been able to control. Every company, every deal, every person, I have understood them. Managed them, filed them under resolved." His eyes don't leave mine. And then there is you, who looks at me from across a room and makes me feel like a man who has never won anything. My chest aches. "Damien, don't." He straightens, puts distance between us, deliberate, controlled. "Don't say my name like that right now. It doesn't help me think." I find Noah on the terrace at 7 the next morning. He looks at me the way doctors look at patients they already have bad news for. "You're going to the gallery," he says. "I haven't decided. With respect, Elena, your body language decided before you woke up." He turns to face me fully, which he almost never does. "I need to tell you something Damien doesn't know I'm telling you." I go still. "He's known about the exhibition for 3 weeks, Noah says. He had my team flag Ryuen's name. He's read every preview, every review." A pause. He read the one about the eyes. Something cold moves through me. The goodbye she never meant to give. "Yes," Noah says quietly. "He read it 4 times. I know because I was in the room." He looks at the city. Damien Cross has never in his life been afraid of losing anything. He acquires. He doesn't lose. His jaw tightens slightly. He is afraid of losing you, and a man like that, when he's afraid, what does he do? I ask. Noah picks up his coffee, looks at me steadily. He gets very, very quiet. Right before he does something irreversible. The city churns below us. "Whatever you decide," Noah says, "decide it quickly, and decide it with your whole heart, because halfway will destroy all 3 of you." The woman at the desk recognizes me from the paintings before she realizes she does. I watch it happen on her face, the slow double take, the widening eyes, the dropped gaze. "I'm here to see Kai Ryuen," I tell her. "He doesn't know I'm coming." She makes a call. I wait. The door opens, and there he is, 3 years. 3 years, and he is exactly the same and completely different, the same face, the same dark eyes that see everything, but something in his posture has changed. He is stiller. Like something in him finally stopped moving, finally ran out of searching, finally settled into the shape of a man who has made peace with carrying something heavy. He looks at me, and he doesn't say anything for a long moment. Then, "You cut your hair." "Months ago," I say. "You noticed?" "I notice everything about you." No apology in it, just fact. "I always have." I walk in. The gallery is long and white and full of what we were. I move through it slowly. Every canvas, I know what he was painting, not just who, when. I recognize the specific early morning light in one, the blue hour we always called the sad hour in another. There's one that stops me, a figure at a window, back to the viewer, shoulders bare, something in the line of the spine that is so specifically the posture I take when I'm trying not to cry that my breath leaves my body. "That one took 6 months," he says from behind me. His voice is close. Closer than I expected. "You painted the back of me not crying," I say. "I painted you trying to be brave." A pause. "I've always found that more beautiful." I turn. He's right there, 2 feet away. Close enough that I can see the old paint stain on his left forearm that never quite washed out, a ghost of something red from years ago. Close enough that the air between us is doing something it shouldn't. "Kai, don't apologize yet." His voice is low. "Walk with me first." We walk the gallery together. He tells me about each painting, not technically, not about the medium or the composition. He tells me what he was feeling. Each one a confession, each one a small devastation. We stop at the largest, center of the room. 2 figures on a mattress on the floor, foreheads pressed together. No faces, you feel the faces. You feel the intimacy of it like a hand on your chest. The last night, I say. The last night, he confirms. I stare at it. And I feel the specific grief of something you can see clearly only after you've lost it. I missed you, I say. The words come out stripped of everything, no defense, no qualification. Every day, Kai, every single day there was a place inside me that was. Don't. His voice has roughened. Don't tell me that if you're going home to him tonight. I don't know where I'm going tonight. He turns to me, and the look on his face, Kai Ryuen does not hide what he feels. He never has. Everything he is moves across his face like weather. And right now what I see is 3 years of missing, 3 years of painting, 3 years of loving someone through a closed door. All of it compressed into one look that hits me somewhere beneath language. You want to know what the worst part was? He says. Not losing you. I could have survived losing you if I'd understood it, but you left me a goodbye that didn't fit. You said you needed a different path. And I spent 3 years trying to figure out what path I failed to be. That's not, my voice breaks. That wasn't it, Kai. Then tell me what it was. And I do, because he deserves it, because I am 3 years overdue. My mother was dying, I say. You knew she was sick. You didn't know the scale of it. He goes still. The bills were catastrophic. We were on a mattress on the floor, and I loved that. I want you to know I genuinely loved that, but my mother was being triaged in a county ward, and I couldn't. I stop. Breathe. I couldn't let her die like that. Elena, Damien was in my orbit. He noticed me. He offered to cover everything, every specialist, every treatment, every single cost, and he asked for nothing except a chance, Kai says, barely audible. Yes. He turns away. I watch his jaw work. His hands at his sides slowly close into fists and then open again. You should have told me, he says. You would have tried to carry it. Yes. You would have broken yourself trying. Yes. He turns back and his eyes are bright and his voice has cracked down the middle. Yes, Elena, I would have. Because that's what you do when you love someone. You break yourself open for them. You don't. He stops, gets control. You don't sell yourself to someone else to protect them from how much you're loved. The word sell lands like a slap. That's not what it was, I say sharply. What was it? It was survival. It was impossible math and no good options, and a decision I made in the dark at 21 years old, with no one to help you. I was protecting you. I didn't need protecting. His voice fills the gallery. Then it drops immediately to something raw and low. I needed you, that's all. I needed you, and you decided by yourself without telling me that I wasn't enough to deserve the truth. Silence. My eyes are burning. You're right, I say. Elena, you're right, Kai. I made a unilateral decision to sacrifice something that wasn't only mine to sacrifice. And I have lived with that, every day. I have lived with what I took from you and my voice gives out. I press my fingers to my mouth, collect myself. I'm sorry, I know that's not enough. It's nowhere near enough. But I am so sorry. He crosses the distance between us in 3 steps and he pulls me into him and I just go, my forehead against his chest, his arms around me, his chin on my hair, and we stand there in the middle of the gallery, surrounded by paintings of us, and we breathe. She's okay, he asks into my hair. Your mother, she's in remission, I manage. She gardens now, his arms tighten. Good, he says roughly. He stops. His hand moves to the back of my head, slow, deliberate. I would have helped you. I need you to know that. I know. I would have sold every painting I'd ever made. I know, Kai. I pull back just enough to look up at him. His face is close. Too close. His eyes move over mine. That's why I didn't tell you. The space between us hums. His hand, still cupped against the back of my head, shifts, just slightly, fingers sliding to my jaw, tilting my face toward his. His thumb traces the line of my lower lip, and I just absolutely forget, every complicated reason why this is not something that should happen. Elena, he says, low, a warning and an invitation at exactly the same time. Don't, I whisper. Tell me to stop. Kai, say the words. I don't say the words. His forehead drops to mine, we breathe the same air. His thumb is still on my lip, and I am 1 destroyed second away from closing the distance myself when the gallery door opens. I know before I turn. I know by the way the air in the room changes, the way it sharpens, the way every molecule realigns. I step back from Kai, not guilty. Too late for not guilty. Just back. Damien Cross stands in the entrance of the gallery in a gray coat and an expression I have never seen on him before. Not anger. Not cold calculation. Something underneath all of that, something exposed and human that costs him visibly to show. He looks at me. Then at Kai, then at the space between us, the specific, charged, recently closed space, and he reads it the way he reads everything. Completely, immediately, without mercy, he walks in. Mr. Ryuen, he says, his voice is perfectly controlled. It is always perfectly controlled. It is the most frightening thing about him. These are extraordinary. Kai says nothing. He watches Damien the way you watch fire, with respect and the knowledge that it can consume. Damien moves through the gallery slowly, hands in his coat pockets, looking at each painting with his full attention. When he reaches the large central canvas, the mattress, the two figures, the warmth of it, he stops. He looks at it for a long time. That was the last night, he says, not to either of us, to the painting. Yes, Kai says. She told you she didn't love you anymore. She told me she needed a different path. Kai's voice is careful but steady. She was kind about it. Damien turns to me, and the look on his face, Damien Cross has never, in all the time I have known him, looked like he could be damaged by anything. He is a man built of control and consequence, and I have never once seen through the architecture of that to the person underneath. I see through it now. You told me, he says quietly, that it ended because you were too young. Because you weren't ready for that level of commitment. Damien, you told me that the first year we were married, when I asked why it ended, you said you were too young. His jaw tightens. Was any of it true? I was protecting everyone, I say. Including myself, by lying to me, by giving you the version I could survive telling. He crosses to me. Stops close, too close, and tilts his head slightly. Looking at me with those dark eyes that have always made me feel like a locked room he's decided he will get into eventually regardless of what I do. Let me ask you something, he says, very low, very quiet, very controlled. And understand that the answer will determine what comes next. His hand lifts, almost touches my face, stops, drops. When you wake up next to me. When I have my hands on you and you're responding, and you do respond, Elena, I know every sound you make and I know when they're real. His voice drops lower. Who are you with? My breath has completely abandoned me. That's not fair, I manage. I'm not interested in fair. I'm interested in true. Damien, who are you with? His composure cracks, just once, just a fracture, just long enough for the pain underneath to show through like light through broken glass. The gallery is silent. Kai is watching me. Damien is watching me. And I am standing in the middle of my own life, feeling like every wall I built is coming down at exactly the same time. Both of you, I say, it tears coming out. That's the unbearable truth of it. I have never been entirely anywhere. Half of me in your penthouse, and half of me in this gallery, and all of me exhausted from being split. Damien looks at Kai. Kai looks at Damien. It is the specific terrible silence of two men deciding how to be in a room together. She told me why she left you, Damien says finally. Just now. In this room, I know, Kai says, she did it to save her mother. I know that now. If you'd known then, I would have found another way. Kai's voice doesn't waver. I would always have found another way. Damien looks at him for a long moment. Something moves in his expression, not softness, not concession, but something like the recognition of a worthy opponent, which from Damien Cross is the closest thing to respect that exists. She's been unhappy, Damien says, not to me, to Kai, in my house, with my ring on her finger. She's been unhappy and I've watched it and I haven't. He stops, something in his throat. I don't know how to give her what she had with you. I've tried to understand it. I've read every review of every piece you've ever made. I've studied her the way I study everything I want to understand, he exhales, and she still goes somewhere I cannot follow. The rawness of it fills the room. Damien, I say softly, he turns to me. And his eyes, when they find mine, are stripped of everything, no empire, no control, no magnificent, terrifying power. Just a man. Just a man who loves something he's afraid he doesn't know how to hold. Tell me what you need, he says, bare, not what I can buy you, not what I can provide. What you actually need, because his jaw works, I am tired of guessing and getting it wrong. I look at him, and I look at Kai, who is watching me with 3 years of open love on his face, who never once learned how to guard himself from me and never tried. I need to be honest, I say. With both of you, right now, I face them. Damien, you married a woman who was still in love with someone else. That wasn't your fault, but it also wasn't something I should have let happen without telling you. You deserved the full truth before you chose me. He doesn't blink. Kai, I turn. You deserved the truth when I left. I stole your right to fight for us, and I have no excuse except fear and impossible circumstances and a 21-year-old girl trying to save her mother and only knowing how to do it one way. Kai's eyes are bright. He nods. I'm not going to choose right now, I say. In this gallery, in this moment, not because I'm a coward, though maybe I am, but because any choice I make in this room would be about pressure, not love. And I have made enough decisions under pressure to last a lifetime. Damien and Kai look at each other. Then Kai says, "Fair," and Damien says nothing, which from him means the same thing. He finds me on the terrace at midnight. I hear him before I see him, the specific quiet weight of his footsteps, the soft sound of a glass being set on the railing beside mine. He stands next to me, not touching, but so close that his arm almost grazes mine and almost is its own kind of contact. I owe you an apology, he says. I turn to look at him. Damien Cross does not apologize. In the 3 years of our marriage, I have heard him come close, have seen him choose different words around the shape of one, but never directly, never cleanly. I have loved you, he continues, still looking at the city, the way I do everything, like a thing to be managed, like a variable to be controlled for, and you are not a variable. He turns. You are the most uncontrollable thing that has ever happened to me, and I think, a pause. I think instead of being grateful for that I've spent 3 years trying to fix it. Damien, let me finish. He faces me fully. I want you, not a quieter version, not a version who stopped wanting things I can't give you. You, his hand finally lifts, cups my jaw slowly like a question, and my breath goes somewhere it shouldn't. If you'll still have me, on honest terms this time. I look at him. The city light catches the edges of him. Ask me again in 30 days, I say. When I've figured out what I actually feel versus what I've been performing. 30 days, he repeats. 30 days, he leans down, presses his lips to my temple, slow, warm, deliberate, and stays there for a moment. I can do 30 days, he says against my skin. He texts at 7 a.m. Come back to the gallery before it opens. There's something you haven't seen. I go. He's waiting outside. Morning light and paint on his forearm and coffee in both hands, and he gives me one without asking because he always remembered how I take it. We go in. He takes me to the back, a separate room, not part of the exhibition, door barely open. He pushes it wide. One painting. Small. Newer than the others, the paint still has a slight sheen to it. It's me, not from memory, not from 3 years ago. From yesterday, in this gallery, in this light, in the specific posture I had when I was standing in front of the large canvas and didn't know he was watching. My back slightly turned, chin lifted, something resolving in my expression. He painted me deciding. When did you? Last night, he says. Couldn't sleep, could not. I look at it, at the woman in it who looks, somehow, more like myself than I have felt in years. Kai, I say. I know, he says. I know where you are. I know you're not mine to keep right now. Maybe not ever. He stands beside me, both of us looking at the painting. But I want you to know something. He turns, takes my coffee from my hand, sets both cups down, takes both my hands in his, paint warm, steady. Whether you choose me, or you choose him, or you choose yourself, and neither of us, I am always, always going to paint you. Because you are the only thing I have ever made that was worth making. I don't have words, so I do the only thing I have. I pull him forward by the front of his shirt, and I kiss him, not the almost of yesterday, not the almost of 3 years. I actually kiss him, and he makes a sound low in his chest like something finally landing, and his hands find my face and we stay there, in the back room. in the paint smell and the morning light for exactly as long as is honest. When I pull back, we're both breathing unsteadily. That was, he starts. I know, I say. Elena, I know, Kai. I hold his face in both hands. I know. I'm at the window again, always the window. Maybe that's my permanent state, standing between the inside and the outside, between the life I'm in and the life I keep imagining. But this morning, something is different. This morning, I know what I want. It came to me quietly, not in the gallery, not in Damien's arms, not in any dramatic cinematic moment. It came at 4 a.m. 3 days ago while I was making tea, the apartment empty and quiet, and I stood in the kitchen and I finally stopped asking which man I wanted and started asking who I was when neither of them was watching. And I had an answer. For the first time in 3 years. I have an answer. My phone is in my hand. There are 2 numbers on my screen, both of them real, both of them true, both of them part of a story that is mine and nobody else's. I close my eyes. Think of a mattress on a floor and paint-stained hands and a man who loved me so openly, it was almost frightening. Think of a dark-eyed man who crouched to my eye level in an expensive room and asked me, for the first and only time, to tell him what I actually needed. Think of the woman in Kai's painting, the one who is deciding. I open my eyes, I make the call. I'm not going to tell you who I chose, because that's not the point of this story. The point of this story is that I chose. Clearly, honestly. With my whole heart and open eyes and full knowledge of what it cost. The point is that after 3 years of being a woman, things happened to a woman who left, who married, who was wanted, who was painted, who was managed. I became something else. I became the woman who decided. And she is, God, she is magnificent.